Good morning to everyone. On behalf of the Embassy of India, I extend a warm welcome to all of you to the of India Leadership Lecture Series. This initiative launched under the guidance and inspiration of His Excellency Sri Akhilesh Mishraji, Ireland, seeks to deeper mutual understanding between the two countries through a series of lectures covering diverse sectors. The series has been encouraging an enthusiastic response from audiences. Today's lecture is dedicated to the field of literature. We are privileged to have with us Indran Rajendran, an eminent writer, translator, critic, and distinguished recipient of Akademi Award. Sri Rajendran, a highly respected literary figure with more than 40 books published in Tamil and English. His scholarly works on aesthetics, tribal poetry of India, and African and Afro-American literature are considered landmark contributions in their respective domains. To his literary achievements, has made notable contributions as an independent curator of art, numerous painting exhibitions, and directed several documentary films. Served with distinction as the editor of Nunkalai, the art magazine of Tamil Nadu State Lalita Academy, 7 years, and as professor of history at the Shivaji Ganesan Film Festival Films Institute, SRM College. It's now my privilege to invite His Excellency Sri Akhilesh Mishraji to kindly deliver his introductory remarks. Sir.
Namaskaram, Vanakkam, and Romba Nandri to all friends who are connected with this online program. It is a great honor and privilege for us in the embassy to welcome such an eminent scholar and thinker, thought leader visiting from India. We are particularly grateful that he has spared time to deliver this lecture for the wider audience while he is on a private. So this is a very special gesture and we acknowledge with tremendous gratitude. Friends, as we all know that Tamil is the oldest continuously living and thriving language of not only India but the world. It is one which is continuing for several millennia with minimal change in its structure and its grammar. And for Indian, it is matter of a special privilege that we have a current leadership in Prime Minister Modi, who actually gives tremendous importance to nurturing self-pride among all Indians in their own respective linguistic, cultural, religious, spiritual, and folk art and historical traditions. So, as ambassador and as embassy representatives, it has been our effort that we should provide a platform for all different linguistic groups, all different art forms from different parts of India to use this as a platform to showcase that all of us get reached, all of us get benefit and get new ideas for our future creativity. As far as the language and literature is concerned, personally, like my colleague, I'm also a biased because this is a very special, very dear to because if I look at India and what kind of challenges we have withstood over several thousand years, successive waves of invasions and onslaught on our culture, our history, our monuments. It is the spiritual heritage of arts, which has a tremendous resilience. And if you look at the uniqueness of not just Tamil, but also probably all Indian languages and Sanskrit and Tamil both are like running parallel streams of creativity and spiritual thinking. So I see as a very beginner in both Sanskrit and Tamil, I see that these are not just means of communication, not just conduits for sharing of ideas or thoughts or information. They are themselves a repository of thoughts. For example, if you look at Western languages, like suppose Latin-based languages like English or Spanish or Italian, or so they have alphabets A, B, C, D, E. There is no logic why it should be sequenced such a manner. Similarly, you say like this is water, WATER. There is no logic why this WATER sound should represent water. Right. But if you go deeper into the phonetic, the thought process behind the Sanskrit and Tamil languages, which have also influenced other languages of India, so you will discover that it's not arbitrary labeling, which has led to something called Jalam or Neer or Earth as Bhu or Bhumi or something. Everything has a region. There is a deep connection. Thanks to Mrugraj, I also read Tulkappiyam, and I was so fascinated that there's a resonance between Nirukta, which is like explanation of words which are used in the Vedas. How do you interpret Vedic words? So it's kind of most ancient grammar and kind of dictionary with illustration of Vedic terms, and I was like beginning initial thoughts about Tulkappiyam. So I saw that the four categories like now Nam, Akhyat, Upsarg, and Nipal. So this exactly same categories exist also in Tulkappiyam. And noun and verb, they are deeply interconnected. So, like Pita, we have similar words in many languages like father and pater and pitri in different languages, but no language explains why father means why mother, this sound means this. It is only like Indian languages like Sanskrit which explains the meaning of pita. Palayati patu putran sa pita. One who nurtures and protects offspring is pita. Yo manayati mimite iti mata. Someone who raises the profile and grows nurtures the child and also loves mimite is mother. So that is why in our language, father and mother are not just biological entities. That is why we say tumeva mata cha tumeva. There is one supreme who is father and mother of all creations. And that is why like it is important for us to know our linguistic roots and how deep philosophical heritage they are founded on. If we lose this mooring and understanding, then we get into the confusion of like you call Rashtrapita or you call Rashtrapati or Rashtrapatni. So this is kind of ridiculousness you plunge into if you forget your origins. So as a North Indian, I'm extremely committed to learning Tamil because without learning Tamil, I feel incomplete. So I'm very grateful to you, sir, for sparing time and your experience and also giving us an overview of Tamil language and literature in a short span of time. But that will be very important for all of us and also all the listeners, because through your lecture we'll get leads how to do further research. Thank you so much. Romba Nandri.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your enlightening introduction and setting the stage for today's lecture. And now, may now request Sri Indran Rajendran to present his lecture on the uniqueness and richness of Tamil literature. Sir, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much for the place you have given for me. And I thank His Excellency acclaimed for giving me an opportunity to discuss about Tamil language along with a Sanskrit scholar as an ambassador. So this opportunity I consider there is a interlingual dialogue because our ambassador happened to refer about Sanskrit. I consider a dialogue between an Indo-Aryan language and a Dravidian language is very much needed today for enriching the general understanding the man, understanding the human beings. We need interval dialogues, interdisciplinary dialogues, and this digital age, interdisciplinary, intertextual reading is clear. So nothing is operating in the watertight compartments. So I consider when I am given an opportunity to talk about Tamil, the way in which I pronounce it, Tamil, is that three alphabets are there, Ta, Mi, and the Il. And the Il, while I am pronouncing it, the tip of the tongue is touching the upper ear in a very, very light manner. Thereby a special sort of sound is being created. So the name of the Tamil language itself, some uniqueness, speciality. Once what happened in a German university, they wanted to create a graphical representation of each phonetical sound. They found out an instrument that will give a graphic drawing of that sound. For Ya, when they made a graphical picture, it is very, very unique. There is no such graphical diagram in any of the language of the world. So each language having their own uniqueness, and thereby the very when our ambassador was referring about the languages. Language means it is not the written word or a spoken word. It is more than that. That is, a language means it is a sensibility of culture. When I am listening here in Dublin, in Ireland, a person is speaking his Irish language. I feel the heart of the Irish culture, the Celtic culture, is tickling inside. It is vibrating inside. So the Irish language is not only the sound, it tells more than that. It is a way of living, the way in which they appreciate when they are bringing out a sound, they have a special type of body language. So the sound is operating with the breath, and everything is operating. Articulating a word is, I would like to call it as psychosomatic activity. Physiology and psychology both are joining together. That is why a language is not simple written word. It is not science, it is art. So if we take Tamil language The inner meaning of Tamil language is sweetness. Tamil means there is a meaning in the dictionary, sweetness. Another thing, I used to wonder how a language, a poet, for example, a poet by name, Kaniyan Punguntanar. There was a poet called Kaniyan Punguntanar. He lived 2000 years ago in the Sangam period. He wrote a poetry wherein the first two lines are saying, Yadum Ure Yavarum Kele. That means every country, every town is my hometown. Every human being is my relative. I wonder how a person who lived in a place, an age, wherein there was no mobile phones, no internets, no, not even buses and trains were not flying. How a person living in a corner of India, in the southernmost part of India, is articulating such a universal statement. Yadum Ure Yavarinkere. It is a bit lengthy poem for the time's sake, I will make. The last words, two words are telling, Siriore Igalbilum Ilale, Periore Viettilum Ilame. We never praise in excitement the top people. It's okay. But we never ill-treat the people who are below. I think our ambassador has rightly pointed out the philosophy and spiritualism making that 2000 years old Kaniyan Punguntanar. Kaniyan means astrologer in Tamil. Kaniyan Punguntanar. His first name is Punguntanar. Punguntanar means literally the meaning of the word is he belongs to a garden where there are so many flowers. The flowers are in the form of a hillock. Kundran. So such a person is making a statement means it sounds as if a great charter of peace for the world. But I wonder how a language which was in a oral stage and then in a palm leaf, then slowly came up to the e-book. So it has been, technology has been shaping the language from time to time, but the technology cannot touch the spiritual part of it, the philosophical part of it. The technology allowed it to remain as it is. That too I used to wonder, sir, in Tamil, when it is such an ancient language, how it is so very user-friendly to the WhatsApp statements. WhatsApp. We are making so many WhatsApp reports in Tamil language, which was used long ago. How it is so very user-friendly. That is the here our Sri Murugaraj Damodaran said, when he wrote a book with the Tirukural, and thank you very much, sir, for the book you have written, because a Tirukural with the English translation you have given, it is a wonderful venture. Wherein I went through that book and then I found a Tirukural written 2000 years ago. He says, Tiruvalluvar says, இறந்தும் உயிர் வாழ்தல் வேண்டி பறந்து கெடுக இவ்வுலக ஏற்றியாம். இறந்தும் உயிர் வாழ்தல் வேண்டி means if at all a person has to live only through begging, if at all a person has to live only through begging, let the person who created that world should get lost. How such a radical thought And although there is an element of anger in that, it is not anger, it is empathy, compassion. So, how a poet was living in that. Now the question arises whether such a poverty was there in that time. Because the population was under control at that time, how there was so much of poverty, that means there is very limited poverty only. Even for the limited poverty, Thiruvalluvar is getting so much angry. So I wonder how a language, which has another element regarding Tamil, there is a very good connection between Ireland and Tamil. Many people may not be knowing, a scholar of linguist called Robert Caldwell. He was born here in Ireland, in a small village nearby Belfast. He traveled all the way to India when he was 24 years old. He went to the interior South Indian village by walking. From Chennai to Tirunelveli, he went through foot walking, and he went there on a missionary assignment. So, in order to spread Christianity, Caldwell learned the languages which are available there. At that time, he comes to know there is a relationship between all these languages. They are totally and characteristically different, unique characteristics. So he is clubbing them together and calling it as a Dravidian languages. Is giving a name for that. So long in the history, nobody has given such a name for the group of languages. He has written a book called the Grammar, Comparative Grammar of Dravidian Languages, or South Indian families, South Indian language families. So, a person who came from Ireland, he goes to a far-off country, India, is changing giving a new life and energy and perspective, paradigm shift for a language which is very age-old one. He is giving that. And Robert Caldwell has made a statement very affirmatively that Tamil language is no way inferior, or it is at par with Greek, Latin, Hebrew, Chinese, Sanskrit. All these classical languages, Tamil is also standing at par. So, a person from Ireland, many people may not be knowing in the history when we are taught. I am very proud to tell this news. By sitting in Dublin, the city, the UNESCO has called the city as a city of international city of literature. So I am very proud to say this by standing on this earth. I am telling Irish land. So when I am going through, I came here for a family visit. But when I am going around and mixing with people, I feel that these people are like Indians. Irish people are also genuinely friendly, genuinely very affectionate, genuinely welcoming people. It is actually even, I find so many characteristics of Indian characteristics are also found here. So, I am very happy that a person from Ireland came and gave a paradigm shift there. Not only Robert Caldwell, so many European, actually Tamil language is not only developed by Tamilians. I want to make this statement because it's not only done by Tamilians. So many European scholars came. The first book printed in India is a Tamil book. Who has printed this? Europeans, Portuguese. They have printed this, they have created a font, they have created the characteristic, the printing characteristic. So, an Indian language, an ancient Indian language, is the world around the Indian language joining together, making that language to keep abreast with the digital age. I think the adaptability nature of the Tamil, I consider, as long as I give the importance to Tamil as a very ancient, I don't call it as old, because old is some little bit, I don't call it, I prefer to call it as ancient. Ancient language, when I'm giving too much of importance, I should give too much of importance. As he said, the consistency, and even today it is updated. That characteristic of a language is very important. That is astonishing and surprising thing. And for that, so many characters, it is not only the Tamil people only done that, the Tamil speaking people only done that. There are so many other characters, socio, political, economical, all because a dictionary was made by European. Grammar has been made by somebody else, an European. All the outsiders also play a major role in improving that. That means the world as such, some spirit or some higher entity, I don't want to name it, I don't know even, is operating in uniting all the world languages one way or another to improve that. But when I am going deep into being a South Indian and Tamil speaking person, I would like to quote a small poetry, wherein a beautiful poetry thing, so much is there. The Tamil was the ecological friendliness of Tamil sensibility. I love very much. That we find all languages in India, all over, wherever I go, I find so. Even in a tribal poetry, the ecological understanding is enormous. What lady is telling in a tribal poetry, I read it in a translation. A lady is saying, a lover, girl, is telling to the lover boy, let us not make love here, because this is not, the trees are there around us. They are all my sisters. So let us go to some other place. They are going to that place. Then she is telling that by the side of the river they are going. So she is telling, she is complaining, our image is getting reflected in the river. So let us not make love here. So they are switching over the place. Like that each and every time. At last the lover boy successfully finds out a place wherein they can make love. She says, I see your image in my eyes. I cannot make love. This is finding place in a tribal poetry. We consider tribal people are backward people. But the ecological sensibility of the tribal poetry is found in age-old Tamil poetry as well. In a Nattinai, there is a poetry wherein the rubber boy and rubber girl are there. She says, let us not make love here because this tree is my sister. So the boy is asking, how? It is after all a tree. He says, when I was a small baby, whenever my mother was feeding me with the milk rice, after feeding me, there was something reminded in that plate. She was putting it on the tree. So the tree was growing up at par with me. In fact, it was there already. So I consider as my elder sister. Such is the sensibility of the Tamil literature. So that ecological friendliness, because of the ecological friendliness, as he said, Tolkappia, the grammarian, when he was creating the aesthetics of Tamil aesthetics, when he was structuring, he is bifurcating the geographical land as a 5 part. One is Kurinji, Mullai, Marudam, Neidal, Palai. Kurinji is mountain and mountain area. Mullai, forest and jungle area. Kurinji, Mullai. Marudam, field and other area. Neidal, seashore and other area. Apart from that, if anything damage is happening to these areas, that is called as Palai, desert. So, in his grammar, in his poetics, in his aesthetics, he says this act of human activity should take place in this setting, in Kurinji. Kurinji means it is meant for making love. This means that each land is given new activity. So, Indian life was very much connected with nature, seasons, and everything. We find this Indian life, the friendliness of the Indian life with the nature and ecology. I call this as a spirituality of India is this one. This is the spirituality of the Indian. This is what the saints and others were aspiring for. Remaining close with that nature and becoming one of the nature. Because here only the sensibility that man is not here on this universe, on this world, to dictate everybody. He is one among the earthworm, he is one among the butterfly, he is one among the other people. So, the man is a part of the world. Einstein once said, if there are no bees, the world will get destroyed. So the human being, the lives of the world are all interconnected. So this literature, the age-old language and literature, if you see India, I used to wonder, it is as if a baby is playing with a kaleidoscope. India is playing with the kaleidoscope of languages. I would like to conclude this by saying, Mahakavi Subramani Bharati, he told, செப்பு மொழி 18 எனில் சிந்தனை ஒன்றுடையாள். Please see the language, sweetness of that. செப்பு மொழி 18 எனில் சிந்தனை ஒன்றுடையாள். That means the mother India speaks 18 languages, but her thought is single. செப்பு மொழி, செப்பு means speaking words are 18. At the time it was 18 in number. 18. செப்பு மொழி 18 எனில் சிந்தனை, thinking.
This is a gem, yeah.
So I consider India is a very strange country. I would like to call it as in the present context, it is a strange sandwich of languages. But still, the sandwich is so very sweet, so very tasty, and everybody is going for that. So I consider the dialogue between Irish, Ireland, and India is going to bring new ideas and new understanding that will be far away to the world peace.
Thank you, sir. With this, we bring today's session to a close. On behalf of the Embassy of India, I sincerely thank His Excellency Shri Akhilesh Mishra ji and Madam Riti Mishra ji for their kind guidance, Shri Indran Rajendran sir for his insightful presentation, and all the audience for joining us today. Thank you.